didn't return home from a morning run.
Her killer, Jose Ibarra, is now serving a life sentence.
There's Laken Riley running by the same location.
Her body was found near Lake Herrick hours later.
University of Georgia apartment complex. It shows the man going to the door of a student apartment. Then he goes to the back of the building to peep inside the ground level bedrooms.
She went out for a jog, broad daylight, college campus, and a few hours later, her body was found in the woods. Her skull was fractured, her face was unrecognizable, and the man arrested? He wasn't even supposed to be in the country. This isn't just a tragic story. It's a broken system on full display. A system that had chance after chance and still let him slip through. Laken Riley was just 22, a nursing student, a daughter, a friend, someone who jogged the same trail every morning thinking it was safe. And what happened to her has set off a nationwide firestorm, not just because of the crime, but because of who committed it and how easily it could have been prevented. In this video, we're going all in. From the morning she disappeared, to the suspect's dark past, to the political chaos that exploded after. We've connected every piece of the puzzle. And what we found? Honestly, it's chilling. So yeah, get ready. This story goes way deeper than headlines. Before all the headlines, before the outrage, there was just Laken. She was 22, a nursing student at Augusta University, doing her clinicals in Athens, Georgia. Friends say she was the kind of person who would text you back in 2 seconds just to say, "Drive safe." She was sharp, focused, kinda type A in the best way. Loved early morning runs, organizing her schedule down to the minute, and dreaming big about her future in healthcare. Her family, devastated. Her friends, still in shock. Because nothing about Laken's life said reckless. It started like any other Thursday morning. February 22nd, 2024. Athens, Georgia. 6 a.m. Laken wakes up, texts her roommate, puts on her running shoes. She jogs the same trail near Lake Herrick almost every day. 9:15 a.m. A surveillance camera spots her near the intramural fields. Nothing seems off. She's running alone. 10:45 a.m. Her roommate notices she still hasn't come back. Weird. Laken is never late. 11 a.m. Calls go unanswered. Texts not read. That's when the panic kicks in. 12 p.m. A missing person report is filed with UGA police. Search begins immediately. 1:04 p.m. A horrifying discovery. Behind Lake Herrick, in a wooded area near the running trail, Laken's body is found. The scene is brutal. She has visible head trauma. No personal items, no phone. It's clear. This wasn't an accident. What happened in that short window of time? Between 9:15 and 10:30? The answer starts with a man, seen near the trail, following her. It's the first breadcrumb, and it leads straight to the man who changed everything. The crime scene gave them almost nothing. No ID, no phone, no personal items. But there was one thing they had: a man, seen around the time of the attack. Multiple cameras, grainy, low-res, but enough to catch a shape. 4 p.m. Investigators start pulling security footage from the surrounding area. Campus buildings, traffic cams, even doorbell cameras from nearby homes. 6:30 p.m. They catch him again. Same guy, now walking, fast, carrying what looks like a sack or clothing. From there, it's a digital trail. Using geolocation pings, they trace the suspect's movements from the scene of the murder straight back to an apartment complex off South Millage Avenue. Officers move in fast. February 23rd, 5:15 p.m. They arrest 26-year-old Jose Antonio Ibarra, an undocumented Venezuelan national. Clothes matching the security footage, and most damning, the moment they ran his prints, the system lit up. This guy had a record. Previous arrests in New York: assault, child endangerment, resisting arrest. And yet, he was still out. So, who was Jose Antonio Ibarra? 26 years old, from Venezuela, crossed into the U.S. illegally through El Paso, Texas in September 2022. He was released by Border Patrol shortly after claiming asylum, and just like that, he vanished into the system. Fast forward a few months, and arrests start piling up. In New York, he was picked up for endangering a child, also charged with injuring a police officer, another arrest for shoplifting. But despite multiple run-ins with the law, he was released every single time. You'd think someone with that kind of history wouldn't be walking around free. But thanks to sanctuary city policies, where local law enforcement doesn't cooperate with ICE detainers, he slipped right through. ICE requested to detain him, ignored. And now he was in Athens, Georgia, living in an apartment complex, working odd jobs, blending in. Here's what makes it worse. This wasn't just a case of missed paperwork. This guy should have been in custody. According to ICE, he was a removable non-citizen with a prior criminal history. The system had the data, it had the warnings, but no action was taken. And now, because of that inaction, a 22-year-old girl is gone. The news hit hard, but what came next turned it into a national firestorm. Within hours of the arrest, politicians were already calling press conferences. And suddenly, Laken's murder wasn't just a crime, it became the face of America's immigration debate. On one side, calls for stricter border control, more deportations, and a total crackdown on illegal immigration. On the other, accusations of political exploitation, with critics saying her death was being turned into a talking point. The facts, though, they didn't lie. ICE confirmed they had tried to detain Ibarra months earlier. Court records showed his pattern of violence, and still, the system failed to stop him. Georgia passed new legislation allowing police to hold illegal immigrants for ICE. Bills were proposed nationally. Talk of sanctuary city bans, campaign speeches shifted overnight. But while the political world exploded, her family was left in grief, watching their daughter's name being tossed around on every major news network. This wasn't just a debate anymore. It was personal, it was painful, and it was proof of just how broken things had become. After the cameras faded, the politics cooled down, and the headlines moved on. One question still hung in the air. What now? As of now, Jose Antonio Ibarra is facing multiple charges, including malice murder, felony murder, kidnapping, and assault. He's being held without bail. Prosecutors are expected to seek the maximum sentence, possibly even the death penalty. The case is still unfolding. But for Laken's family, justice isn't just about locking someone up. It's about making sure this never happens again.
Students say changes like these emergency call boxes are helping them feel safer on campus.
Our efforts in the last year are a continuation and a magnification of programs that we already had going on.
UGA invested over $7 million after Riley's death. They installed 23 emergency call boxes, all equipped with security cameras and a direct line to police. The school also installed 3,000 feet of fencing along Millage Avenue Extension, right near the apartment complex where Jose Ibarra lived. They also hired 12 safety ambassadors working 7 p.m. to 3 a.m., increased the campus police force by 21%, improved lighting, and added miss.
We're really committed to the ways in which we can harness innovation to continue to make a difference. We want to set the pace.
The university will also spend $1.7 million to add 50 more emergency call boxes and at least another 1,000 feet of fencing, as well as increased support for the 911 center.
Across the country, schools are reevaluating campus safety. States are pushing for immigration reform. Even universities are facing pressure to do more to protect students, especially women, in public spaces. But in all of this noise, let's not forget who this is really about. Laken Riley wasn't a headline. She wasn't a statistic. She was someone's daughter, someone's best friend, someone with a full life ahead of her. And maybe, just maybe, her story can be more than a tragedy. Maybe it can be a wake-up call for justice, for reform, and for a country that too often waits until it's too late to fix what's broken.